大谷翔平選手第11号ホームランを放つも、山本由伸投手が打ち込まれドジャースは敗戦となりました。ドジャースは遠征10連戦の第7戦、今日からアリゾナへ移動してダイヤモンドバックスとの一戦となりました。この試合まで防御率驚異の 0.9 で登板した山本由伸投手ですが、満塁ホームラン、ソロホームランを浴び5失点、防御率も 1.8 まで降下してしまいました。試合後の現地放送を翻訳してお届けいたします。
Welcome to Access Sportsnet Dodgers. I'm John Hartung alongside Jerry Hairston Jr. The Bulldog Oral Hershiser is with us. A tough start for the Dodgers this four-game series in Arizona. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, we talked on the pregame show. He had allowed 4 earned runs all season tonight. He allowed 5 earned runs on a grand slam, a solo homer. The Dodgers offense, they hit a lot of balls hard against the Diamondback starter, Brandon Pfaadt, in this game. Jerry, 10 in total, but they just didn't have anything to show for it. By the time they got the 2 in the 8th and the Shohei homer in the 9th, made it look respectable, but didn't feel like they were in this very often.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I thought the Dodger offense, again, they squared some balls up, especially early on. Couldn't find any holes. Yamamoto started out pretty strong the first couple innings, then lost his footing a little bit. Credit the D-backs. They swung the bats when they needed to. They won this ball game.
Yeah, early on it felt good. You know, they just weren't getting any results on the offensive side, but as the game went on, it didn't smell very good, and it started to smell like a loss. You know, they did show up a little bit there at the end. I thought Yamamoto was kind of locked in early, but all of a sudden the ball's kind of slipping out of his hand, especially with the split finger. It was a tough night for him as it went on.
Yeah, Yoshinobu Yamamoto came in with a Major League best 0.9 ERA. He leaves this game. His ERA doubles to 1.8. Oral, you talked about it. First 3 innings, he actually looked like he was cruising a bit. 4th inning, things just kind of unraveled for him.
Yeah, he was a ground ball machine early on. He was lighting it up down around the knees. The split finger was decent, and he was getting ground balls. 6 of the 9 outs in the first 3 innings, ground ball outs, including a double play. And then all of a sudden, you know, I really do think the humidity tonight was 17%, and for Arizona it ranges anywhere from 14 to about 44. So it was a very dry night there, and all of a sudden I thought he's starting to lose the grip. And when all of a sudden that inning really got to a point where he needed to make some pitches, and you try too hard, if you try too hard and you're not really sure of your grip, or you're unsure and not comfortable, the ball can slip out, you start missing your target, and you hit a guy when he's like 0-2.
Yeah, and it's amazing, that fastball to Moreno. Moreno had not hit a home run all season. I know it's all season, only, what, 6 weeks. He does have tremendous power. That wasn't that bad of a pitch, but for when you're in the bases loaded, you can sell out on a fastball. And I'm the hitter. I'm thinking he's probably going to go outer third. And that's why he was able to drive the ball the other way. Here, start starting with that walk. Leadoff walks are never a good thing. And then base it up the middle. Great effort there by Mookie Betts to knock it down. We got first and second. And they got action here. And 0-2. Here's the pitch right here. You talk about slippage, right? Yep. 0-2 pitch. When have you seen that? Hits Suarez right there. And here's that fastball. You get behind 2-0. You know a fastball is coming, and he's guessing outer third. He guessed right, and that's why he's able to drive the ball the other way. So, once again, Yamamoto's been outstanding all season long. He ran into that tough inning. D-backs took advantage of it. It happens sometimes in the show. Unfortunately, you know, talk about tides turning either way. Tides went in the favor of the D-backs.
Oral, is there anything he can do when the ball is a little bit slippery like that? I know there's a rosin bag back there behind the mound, but when the ball is just not able to get a good grip on it, is it tough?
Rosin is more of a drying agent, which actually sometimes makes it even slipperier. But what you do is you get a little moisture on your hand. You're allowed to go to your mouth as long as you look like you're wiping it off. And a lot of times you can go to your mouth and pretend like you're wiping it off, and you're going to get away with it. And you get that moisture, and then the ball will feel a little bit better in your hand. I would think that, you know, he's done that. It was an 0-2 pitch that he hit him with, okay? He was probably going for one of the nastier pitches that he could throw. And when you overthrow a breaking ball, it pops out the top. You overthrow a split, and it's a little early, it slips out the top. And he's just unfortunate, hit him on the elbow.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to set up that inning. If I'm the hitter on the on-deck circle, you got first and second, 0-2 pitch, that breaking ball that hit Suarez. Now I'm walking to the plate with the bases loaded. You know he's lost a little bit of control. Now I'm sitting 2-0. That is just... As a hitter, you feel like you're King Kong then, because you know he's got to come with a fastball right there. And credit Moreno, he did not miss that pitch.
Both of the balls that he got to 2-0 with were wide left, and then all of a sudden you throw one out there. You're kind of training the hitter of where you're headed.
Yeah, the grand slam, then the solo shot by Marte made it 5-0. Dodgers were playing from behind the entire game, Jerry. They chipped away. They got the 2 in the 8th. And then Shohei Ohtani hit that bomb there in the top of the 9th inning to make it 5-3.
Yeah, again, great at bat by Shohei Ohtani. Even though we're behind, he's trying to get on base any way he can. He gets to 3-2, missed a couple pitches. Then he gets a fastball he can handle and hits an absolute seed over the center field wall. Here's that pitch, 98. Again, with a 3-run lead, the pitcher's going to say, hey, I cannot walk him, see how far he can hit it. He was hoping he'd pop it up. Obviously, Shohei Ohtani is all over it. Outstanding swing, head behind the baseball. Look at that. Beautiful swing, so balanced, powerful. I managed to see what the exit velo was on. It's got to be somewhere around 118, 119 miles an hour, because that was scorched.
You know, wins and losses at the big league level are real small edges. And you're talking about the National League West now, where you've got a lot of teams that are playing well. It's the first time you've seen the West team. So this is an edgy game where, you know, a little bit of defense. If Mookie Betts can get that ball in the air to Kim at second base and get that force out, if he doesn't hit a guy with 0-2, if we get a hit with runners in scoring position late and all of a sudden Ohtani hits that home run, it's the difference between a win and a loss, and it's very small. The Dodgers usually come out on top on this because of their ability and their execution. It just didn't happen tonight.
Michael Conforto hit 3 balls on the button today. 3 balls on the button tonight. Really had nothing to show for it. It's unfortunate. You know, sometimes you have a month, sometimes 6 weeks where it's just not going your way. I'm hoping, as cold as he is, he can get scorching hot pulling for him.
Yeah, he hit one about 407 feet. That was an out. And James Outman hit one about 411 feet, which was also an out. Those would have been home run balls at Dodger Stadium. Dodgers fall 5-3. Let's head back to the booth in Arizona. Check in one final time with Steven Nelson and Eric Karros.
Sort of an odd one, EK. The Dodgers dropped this opener 5-3. Late rally, not enough, but it all kind of came apart quickly against Yamamoto in the 4th.
Yeah, real quiet game for both sides, really, the first couple of innings. And you know, the 4th inning kind of started off innocently, right? A walk and then an infield base hit. The kicker, though, was that 0-2 pitch to Suarez. Nicks him in the elbow, and then next guy up, 2-0. Grand slam. We got 4 runs on the board.
It's a long series, though. A chance to get back on the horse tomorrow. Roki Sasaki, what do you want to see from him against this Diamondback offense?
I think more than anything, just attack the strike zone. We saw Yamamoto doing that early, and, you know, he was fine. Kept the Diamondbacks off the bases. It was the one inning that hurt him where he just got a little wild. He walked a hitter and hit by pitch. Sasaki has the ability and the stuff to shut down this lineup, and on the flip side, Dodgers have to be a bit more offensive, especially early in the game.
A chance to get back on the winning track, and even this series against an old almost friend in the left-hander Eduardo Rodriguez.
All right, thanks, guys. The 3rd and final stop on this 10-game road trip for the Dodgers. Let's get right to the highlights on this Thursday night's Chase Field in Arizona. Top of the 1st inning after Freddie Freeman walked. It's Will Smith at the plate. Jerry shoots it the other way.
Outstanding hands right there. Especially with the runner on first base. You know you got that huge hole there. Able to shoot it to right. Great piece of hitting, Will Smith.
Well, the Dodgers have him cornered with 2 outs for Max Muncy. But Muncy grounds out to first.
Dodgers set the table in a few innings during this game, but late. And when they did it late, there was a lot of 2-out situations like that.
Bottom of the 2nd, after a couple quick outs by Yamamoto, Gabriel Moreno shoots one through that hole on the right side.
Yamamoto was down in the strike zone early, had the split working, the fastball working. This was a little traffic, but he gets out of it.
Really good pitch there, 3-2 to get Alek Thomas. Breaking ball.
Fastball, split, and curveball is about 75% of what he uses to get people out.
Corbin Carroll in the bottom of the 3rd with 1 on. Grounds it to Freddie Freeman, goes to second, but not in time.
I mean, that's as good as it gets for Freddie Freeman to turn it that quickly. Carroll can fly.
But no worries, because Ketel Marte does ground into a double play.
Yeah, this is a really sweet play. You know, we moved an athlete from right field to shortstop. He played like an athlete last year, but now he's playing like a shortstop.
Yes.
Bottom of the 4th, after a leadoff walk, Yoshi facing Josh Naylor.
Former Guardian great.
Up the middle, diving stop by Mookie Betts, but not able to get it to Ha-Sung Kim.
This is the edges in the big league game. You know, tremendous ability to get to that ball, just couldn't get it in the air. It looked like his thumb was kind of behind the ball instead of underneath, and that kept the ball low.
And then the 0-2 pitch that hits Eugenio Suarez. to load the bases. Jerry, you talked about that 2-0 pitch to Moreno, his first home run of the year.
Yeah, big league hitters, man. You mentioned this is his first home run, but he could sell out. You know a fastball's coming. You're going to be able to barrel it most times. He does just that. Center cut, that ball's driven.
One swing of the bat, first ball to leave the infield in the inning, and they've got 4 on the board.
Very edgy with the grand slam and the next home run that he's going to give up. They just barely clear where the Dodgers are peppering the warning track, and they're getting them just to barely clear the wall.
Yamamoto responds with a couple of strikeouts. Back-to-back Ks. Top of the 5th, Brandon Pfaadt facing James Outman. Gets him on 3 pitches.
You're kind of in your head there when you're taking a pitch like that with 2 strikes.
That's a pretty good pitch to hit.
Shohei hits one. Tel Marte to end the 5th.
You have to judge yourself on execution, not on results. The hitters hit a lot of balls hard. They don't need to change a thing.
But Marte admired this ball like he hit it 700 feet.
He's too good of a player.
Off the top of the wall.
I'm a huge Marte fan. He's such a great player, and everybody says he's such a great guy. He knows better than that.
Maybe he hit it with a little top spin, so he knows and feels so good.
If you're going to do that, nothing wrong. If you're going to do that, then you got to at least hit it 100 feet past the wall.
That's true.
On top of the wall.
Well,
He knows that.
But D-backs go up 5-0. Top of the 6th, Freddie Freeman extends his hitting streak to 13 games.
Ball scolded.
he's so good. I mean, the way he sprays it all over the field.
Good effort there by Naylor. Unable to make the play.
2 down for Max Muncy. He gets one that finds its way to the outfield.
If you have a cut bat and you hit it like that, you cut the baseball. He hit that right off the very end.
A lot of English.
We'll take it. Andy Pages, though, chases one out of the zone. Down go the Dodgers in the 6th. 7th inning after a leadoff walk. Hae-Sung Kim chases. 3rd strikeout of the night. Brandon Pfaadt's night would be done, and then Shohei. Down he goes.
Pretty good changeup he featured there against Ohtani. Down and in.
Top of the 8th. 1 on, 1 out for Will Smith. Dodgers trying to get something going, and that's a base hit.
Will put himself in the middle of a few good innings. They just couldn't drive him around.
Once he had that cue shot for a base hit, maybe that's the one that's going to get him going, because this ball is ripped. It's a one-hopper over the wall.
Good swing right there. You got to get Max Muncy going. He's such an important piece to our lineup. Good swing there.
Dodgers on the board. It's 5-1.
Got in on him just a little bit, had like a 97-mile-an-hour exit velocity, so it was a hard-hit ball. If he'd have hit it a little bit farther up the barrel, it would have been out of there.
Andy Pages goes the other way. It's 5-2. The tying run's coming to the plate.
When you're going the other way, first pitch breaking ball, you know you have a great approach. Good piece of hitting.
Michael Conforto to 2nd. That's a big league double play turn.
Marte is such a great player right there. Really good turn. Just getting Conforto there.
Dodgers challenged it, but the call was confirmed.
They get the double play. Run does not score. It's 5-2. Going to the 9th, Kevin Ginkel in for Arizona. And Kim hits this one hard. Right at Corbin Carroll.
Had a lot of Adam balls tonight.
Kike Hernandez. Not as hard hit. It's out number 2. And Orland Shohei Ohtani, we talked about him earlier. This ball is crushed.
It really is. It's on a tee, 98 right down the middle, but it's the right pitch in the right situation, but to the wrong guy, because if you got to challenge him, he doesn't miss him very often.
At this point, you're just hoping Mookie can get on, give Freddie a chance as hot as he's been. Maybe tie this game. Mookie just misses that one.
Got in on him just a little bit.
And that would be out number 3, end of game. Dodgers fall 5-3 in the first of this 4-game series. They drop to 25-13 on the season. Yoshinobu Yamamoto takes the loss. allowed 5 runs in his 5 innings with 4 strikeouts. Freddie Freeman extending that hitting streak, goes 1 for 3 with a walk. Max Muncy 2 for 4 with a double and a run batted in. Here's what's ahead on the Dodgers calendar. 3 more in Arizona this weekend. It's a 1 p.m. start time Sunday on Getaway Day. The Dodgers finally back home Tuesday to host the A's. Mookie Betts bobblehead night Tuesday, Star Wars night Wednesday, and Shohei's 50-50 bobblehead night. That is on Thursday. All of these games on Sportsnet LA. Yoshinobu Yamamoto had allowed just 4 earned runs in his first 7 starts this season. Tonight, he was tagged for 5 earned over 5 innings. We will hear from Yoshi and Dave Roberts coming up. Access Sportsnet Dodgers is brought to you by Farxiga. Ask your doctor about Farxiga. Carl's Jr. moment of the game, Jerry. It's everyday Freddie extending his hitting streak to 13 games.
Okay, well, he squares the ball up so many different ways. 2 strikes, driving the ball to the ballpark. I love the rocket to right. Continues to have good at-bats. Fab Five Freddie doing his thing. I know we weren't victorious tonight. Dodgers will be, more times than not, talented group.
Freddie Freeman hitting .361 this season. Unfortunately, they fall 5-3. Let's head back to Arizona. Yoshinobu Yamamoto with Kirsten Watson and the media.
Yoshi, when you look at those 2 home runs, what do you think allowed them just to be able to get the 2 home runs? What do you think allowed them to get to him in the 4th and the 5th inning?
2本ホームランを許したんですけども、そこの原因になったものっていうのは自分でどう思われますか、考えますか。
ホームラン打たれたのは、バッターもいいバッターだったのであれですが、そこまでのフォアボールで先頭を出したり、またデッドボールで満塁になってっていう、そこまでのピッチングが、すごく反省点だなと思ってます。
I think first, those are great hitters, so tip my hat to them. However, I allow them walks and then hit by pitch. Then because just let it happen.
For you, do you think it was something mechanically, or was there something just missing from, I guess, your side of pitching?
その今日の調子っていうのはやっぱそのフォームに原因とかあったのか、それともその他に何か原因があったんでしょうか。
もちろん絶好調ではなかったですけど、なんとか、ウィルの、すごくいいリードでなんとかこう粘りながら、投げれてたんですけど、本当にそのホームラン打たれた回の、フォアボールだったり、デッドボールだったり、そういった、ピッチングの中ですごく基本的なミスが、一発にこう響いてしまったので、そうですね、そういった、ピッチング内容があまり良くなかったですね。
Obviously, I didn't have my best stuff today, but the Will is helping me out by calling the game, and however, because like I said, I allowed walks and hit by pitch, and then I just tried to grind out, but it didn't work out today.
What happened on the slider that hit Suarez? Did it just kind of back up on you, or did it just kind of slip coming out?
スアレス選手に投げたそのスライダーっていうのは、どういう意図っていうかそういう目的があってたんでしょうか、投げたんでしょうか。
狙いはアウトコースだったんですけど、少し内に入ったらやっぱりこう一発もあるバッターだったので、そこだけは気をつけて、意識して投げたんですが、あまりうまくいかず抜けてしまいました。
I was trying to aim outside, but I just had, and then yes, he got it.
What makes that lineup so difficult to face?
今日の打線はなぜそういうふうにちょっと難しくなった原因っていうのは何だったんでしょうか、そのアリゾナの方の。
ホームラン打たれた満塁ホームラン打たれた回以外は、そうですね、ちょっとカウント悪くしたりはありましたけど、そんなに、そこまで悪くなかったかなと、思いますけど、とにかくあの回が、ランナーのため方が良くなかったなと思います。
Overall, because my stuff wasn't too bad, and but the Jazz, like that grand slam, that costed a game.
We are so used to seeing Yoshinobu Yamamoto with just impeccable command out there on the mound, and he admitted that he didn't have his best stuff tonight, Oral. You look at all season long, he'd been pitching on 6 days rest. This is the first time this year on 5 days rest. Did that have anything to do with his stuff or his command tonight?
I didn't think so. You know, I didn't think he got fatigued. I didn't think all of a sudden he lost command because all of a sudden it was a one-day rest different. He just kind of overthrew some pitches, missed the target. This is a guy, he's got a 1.8 ERA. He's got 4 wins. He's a winning pitcher right now. He's probably going to make the all-star team. You're going to have bad outings. The big leagues is a tough league. And I'll tell you, it's very edgy, the difference between good and great, and it's very edgy between you lost a tough game and you won a tough game. So I don't worry about this guy at all. If we just said he's going to have a 1.8 and have 4 wins, and the Dodgers, when he's in the game, have averaged about 2 runs for him, and he's still winning games, this guy's having a great year.
He's going to go back and look at the video, and it was really one bad inning, really just a couple bad pitches. Okay, now I would question the walk, the 3-2 breaking ball, that leadoff walk. I would have loved him to at least throw the fastball, or maybe the split to make it look like a fastball, maybe get him a chase. He throws a breaking ball, leadoff walk. Then a couple pitches later, rocket up the middle. Great play by Mookie Betts to knock it down, try to turn a double play, first and second. 0-2, breaking ball, and then before you know it, grand slam. That's how quickly things can turn in the big league. So he was, before the inning, was on cruise control, just one bad inning. Listen, he's going to be just fine. He has been dominant to start. I expect him to bounce back in a big way next outing.
All right, Yoshi and the Dodgers will turn the page from this one. Michael Conforto went 0 for 3 tonight. A frustrating season continues for him, even though he hit 2 balls really hard in this game. We will hear from Conforto and more coming up. Top tier stat line brought to you by Arco. The bottom 4 guys in the order tonight. Jerry combined 1 for 15 with 7 strikeouts. We talked on the pregame show about the need to get production from that group.
Yeah, and they understand that. They are off to a slow start. And once again, we have superstar players at the top of the order. We just need bottom of the order overall to be productive. Now, Kim, he's been outstanding to start his big league career. He just had a tough night, ran into a buzzsaw. Guy made some pitches.
Yeah, Michael Conforto, part of that group. He went 0 for 3, but he hit 2 balls over 100 miles an hour, had nothing to show for those. Let's hear from Conforto right now with Kirsten and the media.
Michael, we're seeing obviously the hard hit balls, and just kind of honestly feels like probably just a bit unlucky. I guess kind of how are you just feeling offensively at the plate, and kind of the frustrations are hopefully, even though obviously honestly probably building up just a bit.
Yeah, you know, I'm definitely frustrated. Happy with a couple hard hit balls today. Frustrated about, you know, being in a situation to keep a rally going and not being able to beat that ball out. It's frustrating, makes me sick. I just got to keep going. Been working hard, and you know, a lot of it's, you know, I'm putting together better at bats and hitting the ball hard, and you know, just got to keep going out there and, you know, just keep focusing on that, and you know, hopefully find some holes and start rolling.
Does this really feel close to where you kind of want it to be, just in terms of, like, especially the hard contact and everything that's sort of coming out of it?
Yeah. You know, 2 balls today hit well, and you know, I wouldn't change anything about those swings. Yeah, so I definitely feel better about the swings for sure.
What are some of the things in the swing that you've been kind of working on here the last few weeks?
Just being more consistent, getting the barrel of the ball, and being on the heater, being able to drive the ball. You know, just being a tougher out.
Can you take solace from some of those at-bats tonight, or is it just more frustrating that you hit the ball that way and that they don't drop in?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I definitely, you know, I'm trying to focus on, you know, what I can control, and hitting the ball hard is one of those things, and you know, I try to take that home with me, and you know, build off of that, and but like I said, I mean, you know, just frustrated to not come through in the 8th.
you've played in this division the last, couple of years, and it's still pretty early in the season, but, how kind of deep and competitive can the NL West be, just from your experience?
I think the records show, that there's a lot of great teams in this division. It's going to be very competitive all year, all the way down to the end, and just a lot of good players in this division. So we got to bring our A game, take advantage of every opportunity.
As the old saying goes, if not for bad luck, Michael Conforto wouldn't have any luck at all right now. Jerry, you heard him right there. He says he's frustrated, not able to come through in the 8th inning. The guy says he feels sick about the way things have been going for him. You feel for a guy like that?
Listen, we have all been there. I don't care if you're Cal Ripken Jr., Ken Griffey Jr., if you're a great player or the 25th, 26th man on the roster, you have gone through, a month or a couple weeks where it's just not going your way. Now, what I did love about his at-bats today, he addressed it. He hit 3 balls hard. 2 are absolute rockets, and I really believe that double play ball, he hit that extremely well. This ball is driven to center field. Outstanding job putting great wood on the ball. Unfortunately, it didn't hit the wall or go out. That ball, you can't hit a ball harder than that. Right at the second baseman here, this ball is hit hard as well. Marte makes a great play, 4-6-3 double play. The one thing I will suggest, this is old school thinking. I'm telling you, old school thinking works. I've been in a similar situation. Now, I didn't have his at-bats like every single day. But I remember talking to my dad. Dad, I'm hitting the ball hard. But right at people, he would say, change your angles. Don't change your swing. You change your angles. What he means by that, either back up in the batter's box. So instead of hitting the ball hard right at the second baseman, maybe because he backed up, he hits it in between the first and second baseman. That's a real thing. Change your angles or move up on the plate. Doing little things without changing your swing can make a dramatic difference. I got it red hot. My brother Scott did it a lot in his career. Nomar Garcia-Parra talked about it a lot. I told him this thing, because, Jude, I used to do it all the time. When I would line out to the third baseman shortstop, I would stoop back on the box or move forward depending on how it felt. And those balls, psychologically saying, I'm not changing my swing at all, but now I have more confidence when I catch it, it's in between the third baseman shortstop and it's starting to find holes. Maybe he needs to do that, not change your swing, because his swing tonight looked really, really good.
Yeah, that's a timing issue too, right? You don't want to have to change your timing. You're seeing the ball well, you're on it, so you don't want to change timing, just change your angles. But the thing is, the big leagues is a mental game, and especially as an everyday player, and especially as this gets drawn out. On the nights when you're really hot, the ball's an atom ball. On the nights when you're not seeing it, maybe you're pressing a little bit, you're swinging at balls and you're striking out. This is just a really bad rhythm. You can say to a veteran, well, I've been through it, I'll figure this out, but it still hurts every day because this is something they want to do the rest of their life. They're going to miss it when they can no longer do it. So even though you know it's going to end, it still hurts really bad.
I grew up fortunate around the White Sox clubhouse. Robin Ventura said something that really stuck with me. If you start out slow like Mark Conforto, a lot of players have started out slow. The worst thing you can do is look at the scoreboard. You're hitting about $130. Then you start feeling like you're $130 or $150 hitter. Ignore the scoreboard, play a game within the game. You walk up to the ballpark, drive to the ballpark, I'm scoring 4 balls up. That's all I care about. I hit 4 balls hard. If I do that, I'm going to let the chips fall where they may. Play a game within the game. This game is so hard. Prince Philly used to always tell me, Jair, don't love this game. It'll kick you in your teeth. That's how hard this game is.
And that's where you talk about it being a mental game, Oral, because he looks right now and he says, my last 12 games, I'm 1 for 40. And so maybe the natural thing for a hitter is to figure out, do I need to change my swing? And if you do, then you can almost make things worse because right now he is hitting the ball hard. And over those last 40 at-bats, he's hit a number of balls really hard, just not any luck.
You just can't chase it. You have to believe in your execution. And as a hitter, the execution is about hitting the ball hard, and that's all you can do. Yeah. And if you want to try and steer it, you try and steer it like Jerry said. Change your angles a little bit, but don't change your swing if you're hitting it hard.
All right, Dodgers fall 5-3 to the Diamondbacks, but we celebrate the positives, like Shohei Ohtani hitting his 11th home run of the season. We have more reaction coming up, including skipper Dave Roberts next. Remember, fans, each night, if Dodgers pitchers strike out at least 7 batters, everyone will get a free Jumbo Jack. The following day, a Jack in the Box with the purchase of a large drink. It's only at LA area restaurants. Unfortunately, tonight, 5 strikeouts. That's it. But there's another chance coming up tomorrow when Roki Sasaki starts against the Diamondbacks. Let's go right back to Arizona. Dave Roberts is speaking with Kirsten and the media.
Dave, when talking to Yoshinobu, he just kind of felt like he didn't really have his best stuff tonight. What were you seeing from him, and what do you think just really allowed them to get those 2 big swings?
You know, yeah, I echo that. I don't think he was as sharp as he has been. You know, even the 3-2 breaking ball to Pavin Smith, if he strikes that, I think it's a different inning, a different game. And, you know, gets count leverage on Suarez and hits him with the split to load the bases. And I honestly thought Moreno took a good swing on a 2-0 cutter, but was behind the count to go opposite way. Really good swing. And then the Marte homer I thought was a good pitch. It was down and in, maybe in off a little bit. But again, I think the story is he just wasn't completely sharp tonight.
You talked about it ahead of the game. Just obviously you knew that the Diamondbacks were going to find a way to battle and try to win this one. What does this just say kind of about this matchup and kind of what you expect from this series?
It's a good matchup. This is what we expected as far as kind of the back and forth, tight ball games. And you got to give credit to their defense tonight. I thought they really caught the baseball well. Certainly in the outfield, I thought we squared up a lot of baseballs and didn't get anything to show for it. So overall, I don't think the line score speaks to how well we swung the bats, but you got to give credit to those guys running them down out there. And also that double play ball off Conforto's bat was a heck of a play by Marte.
But Michael, do you feel like encouraged just the last couple of days with how hard the sort of contact has been?
I do. You know, he's taking good at bats. Certainly not getting a whole lot to show for it, but I think for me it's easy to bet on him because the head is still there, the work is still there, and so they're going to fall. It's going to turn as long as he keeps having those good at bats.
How close does he look to like where he probably could be offensively?
I think he's right there. I really do. I hope he doesn't change anything as far as approach, mechanics. He'll be down tomorrow against Rodriguez, but he'll be in there the next couple. And I think he's swinging the bat well right now.
Can it take a toll when you are putting together good at-bats or hitting the ball hard and you're still not getting hits like he's had the last couple days?
It absolutely can. But I do think that his teammates, the coaches, myself are still supporting him, and I know he feels that. And he's just got to keep taking good at-bats, and they'll fall. But a guy that's been around for so long, I think he can handle this, 5 weeks of adversity.
One less day rest for Yoshinobu. Can we dismiss that as a non-factor?
I think so. I mean, he did it last year, and I don't recall what he did on 5 days rest. I still thought the stuff was good. There was a little bit of the split wasn't as sharp early, but after the grand slam, that was better. So I just don't think that it was any type of fatigue. Going in, I thought, and even coming in, I thought the stuff was still good. The fastball had life. The fastball had just missed a little bit tonight, just off the plate, a handful of times. But I don't think it had anything to do with the rest.
Do you notice if he did anything, differently since he had, obviously only the 5 days instead of 6 or in between?
You know what? I'm sure there was a little bit of an adjustment for him, but I'm not too privy on, exactly what he did with the days in between.
We talked about how tough this division could be. I mean, just like even the atmosphere tonight, can you kind of feel, the intensity that you guys might face playing division teams?
Oh yeah, this was good. This was fun. You can see that their faithful was there, supporting, excited. Our guys travel well, and we were there, so it was a fun environment. It was a tight ball game. Then obviously the big hit by Moreno, but it was good to see us fight back. And again, I really thought we swung the bats much better than the line score showed tonight.
All right, Freddie Freeman did extend his hitting streak to 13 games. Jared, we know this about Freddie Freeman. When he is locked in, he's going to hit everything and everyone, which he has been doing.
Yeah, he has been locked in. We're going to go to the K's and break down Fab Five Freddie. He has been locked in for so long. Obviously, the World Series MVP. Here's Paul Skeens. Curveball on 0-1 pitch, rocking down the right field line. Love the bat path, love the swing. They try to tie him up with the fastball. He's short, put through the ball, knobbing the baseball, get the barrel to it. This ball's down. A sinker, a little lefty on lefty sinker, able to get the barrel to it. Once again, look at this. Notice the theme here. Different types of pitches, different locations. He's still able to get the barrel on the baseball. They try to rush him with a fastball once again. Off the wall, rocket. Outstanding job. Here's that breaking ball. Once again, that slider stays up in the zone. And before you know it, it's a 2-run bomb, Fab Five Freddy. We're going to go back to Atlanta. Little curveball right there. He's going to get a little love there because, you know, he played in Atlanta. Off the glove, base hit. Love to see that. Here's that fastball right there. They try to go out of third, misses location, and Freddie makes him pay. Dead center field. Once again, a fastball out of third. Barrel on the baseball. I just love his approach, his makeup. You make a mistake up and in, even a huge park like Marlins Park there, he'll take you deep. Little lefty on lefty crime once again. This slider is down. Probably would have hit the dirt. Doesn't matter. When he stays through the baseball, gives himself a chance. Little Raku-esque here. Going the other way with 2 strikes. This pitch right here would have hit the dirt. No question about it. Outstanding job. And here, fastball up in the zone, off the glove, but rocket off the bat of Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman's old school, okay? Works extremely hard. It's knob to the baseball, and then the barrel will follow. That's why he's able to stay on so many different types of pitches and square the ball up all the time. Freddie Freeman, one of the best to ever do it. First ballot Hall of Fame.
All right, tomorrow night, Roki Sasaki gets the ball. Second game of this 4-game set in Arizona. Coming off his first big league win last time out. Had to wait out a 3-hour, 6-minute rain delay, Oral, but he went 5 innings, allowed 3 runs, and beating the Braves. What we'd be looking for from him tomorrow.
Establish the strike zone with at least 2 pitches. If he can do that, he will be very good. The stuff is there. This is about command, locating the ball, and getting in good pitchers' counts.
He's got elite stuff. And you're right, or when he is getting strike one, it's able to use his breaking ball. That slider is getting better and better, and obviously that forkball / split. Big game for him. Hopefully he can be that stopper, and we kind of get momentum back in Arizona.
Turn the page and even things up tomorrow. For Jerry, Oral, and Kirsten, I'm John. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Pre-game coverage begins at 5:30 here on Sportsnet 11.
なかなか山本由伸投手にとっては苦しい登板となりましたね。今日は初回から三振が取れていない投球で大丈夫かなと見ていましたが、4回に完全に崩れていた一撃を浴びてしまいました。試合後のインタビューでもかなり悔しそうでしたね。大谷翔平選手も9回までは完全に抑え込まれていたので1本出てまだ良かったですが、悔しい試合となってしまいました。明日は佐々木朗希投手の登板です。勝利と素晴らしい投球、大谷翔平選手の2試合連発に期待しましょう。それでは次回の動画でお会いしましょう。さようなら。